Welcome back, boys and girls, to another exciting math lesson with Mrs. Weinkind. So today we're going to be talking about how can we add numbers mentally in our head. Okay, so what can we do to add our numbers mentally in our head? So we're going to go ahead and get that math notebook out like we've done before. And at the top of it, we're going to go ahead and write mental. Let me go ahead and turn my light on my camera here for you guys. There we go. Makes it easier. Mental math addition. So I actually went to a new page. I didn't go on the same page that we used for our addition properties. I went to a new page so I could find this much easier. So the first thing we're going to talk about is mental math means in our head. We're going to try to add these numbers in our head. So what I'm going to use first would be like kind of breaking it apart. So we call that the break apart strategy. And this is where we take one of our add-ins and break it into hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay, so we're going to break apart our number to break it into hundreds, tens, and ones. So let's go ahead and pick an example here. So let's pretend that we have 378, and I'm going to add that to 100 and let's say 12. So I'm going to start with 378, and I'm going to break apart my 112. So I'm going to look at each of the place values that are here. So the first thing I see is that I have 100 in the hundreds place. So that is 100. Then I move over to the tens and I have 10 tens because there's only one group of 10. And then I move over and I see that I have 2 ones. So I have taken each of these and broken them apart to their place value. So now I'm going to add each of those on. So if I start with 378 and I add the largest place value, which is 100, then I can mentally do this because all I need to look at is the hundreds place. So 300 plus 100 would give me 400. And since I'm not touching any tens or ones, I move over the 78. The next thing would be then to bring down my 478 that I just got. And now I'm going to focus on the tens place. So I'm going to add a group of 10. So I'm only going to look at the tens place. I have 7 tens here. I'm going to add a group of 10. So now I have 8 groups of tens. I didn't touch the hundreds and I didn't touch the ones. Then I'm going to take that sum. And now all I'm going to worry about is the last, which is the ones place, which happens to be a 2. So now I'm going to focus on the ones place. So I know that 8 plus 2 is 10. Now here's the tricky part because now I have a group of 10 that has to move. So I'm going to add that group of 10 over here. And now I have no ones. Instead of 8 tens, I now have 9 tens because I added 1. And I keep my hundreds the same. So now I know that my 378 plus 112 would be 490. And we can practice this multiple times. The key is to break it apart. So let's go ahead and do another one. Let's do 624 plus 171. And we're going to use the same break apart strategy. So the first thing I want to do, if this is my problem, is I'm going to break apart 171. So 171 would be 100 plus 7 tens, which is 70, plus 1 1. After I've broken that apart, now I'm going to go step by step. So I'm going to bring my add-in down, 624, and I'm going to start with the largest place value, which is 100. So 624 plus 100. And because I'm paying attention to the hundreds place, I'm only going to change the 6 to a 7 and then bring over the 10s and the 1s. Then I'm going to carry down my 724, and now I'm going to add my 10s place, which is 70. So that means my 1s are going to stay a 4, and I'm going to add 70 plus 20, or 7 plus 2, which is 9 10s or 90. And I'm going to bring my hundreds still over. I didn't touch them. Then the last thing we're going to do is worry about our 1s place. And I only have 1, so I'm just going to add my 1. So now I look and I say 4 plus 1 is 5. And I didn't touch the 9, or the 9 in the 10s place. And I didn't touch the 7 in the hundreds place. So 624 plus 171 equals 795. That's one strategy that you can use to help you add mentally. Another way that you can do this is to go on a number line. We're going to do the same thing we did there except on a number line. So on a number line, I'm going to start at my first number. I'm going to put a starting point, and I'm going to draw a number line and put an ending point. I still need to break apart my second add-in so that I can add it easier. So I'm going to jump 100. And when I jump 100, I'm going to land at 724. Then I'm going to jump 70 and land at 794. Then I only have a little jump of 1 and land at 795, which is my ultimate answer. So I can use the break apart strategy by breaking it apart into 1s, 10s, hundreds, or I can do the same on a number line to visually represent it. Today, when you're doing your mental math practice, keep this in front of you to help you. And you might want to use a whiteboard marker or pencil and paper so that you can break it apart easier.